Um, Here we are. Welcome to Hedgehog Radio, where I draw and people chat. This time I'm talking with Nate Crowley. Hello. Hey, Nate.
Hello there.
Yay! I'm always so delighted when people's voice actually comes through, and it's I feel good. Okay, so let's do this. Here's a piece of paper. There you go. Can fill that. And yeah, it's good, isn't it? But to make it less blank, and also because I need to start with something, I shall draw you first as an animal. You can be any animal you like. What would you like to be for this?
Wow. I think I would quite like to be a crayfish, if that's possible.
It's possible.
Or a crab.
A crayfish or a crab.
A crab,
perhaps. I am making this. I'm doing this by my memory of what a crab looks like, or a crayfish. So, let's see. You're the person who knows, probably. That's a good start, right?
Yeah, they've got eyes.
I think
they're known for it.
They've got eye stalks, don't they? Like that.
Yes. It looks like it might be a fiddler crab or something.
It might be. I mean, it's it does sometimes turn slightly into a different sort of animal. I wonder whether the legs are part of your head or your rest. I think I'll see where it goes. There you go.
I shan't be particularly exacting about you adhering to decapod anatomy here. You can go freestyle a little.
I think that this thing happens, doesn't it?
Yes.
This is the most because I still, I've got to probably draw you again doing things. So you look a bit baffled there. Okay, clothes. Do you want a coat?
Oh yes, I think so.
Okay, I'll give you a coat. You got a coat. This is.
Because we are approaching winter now.
Yeah. Crabs need coats. I feel like it needs a few. Can I just give you a beard of legs? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I think that's how we can maybe. Yeah.
Oh, that's quite stylish, actually.
It's not bad.
It's about as well groomed as my actual beard at this point in time as well.
Good. Oh, I'm quite pleased with this one. That's good. Yeah. Do you think can this
Oh, that's
crab represent you?
Yeah.
For this. Okay, so now people know what you look like. That's great.
Could you have some spectacles, maybe?
Oh, absolutely. Now, There you go.
Oh, yes.
No, I'm not sure how they are. See, that's always the thing with anthropomorphic animals. We do often fudge this. There's actually a lot of discussion in the kind of illustration community on how to handle this, because ears are like rarely in the right place for glasses with animals, but you still kind of want to. Gosh.
Just tucked behind the legs there. Perfect.
Yeah, I think that's all right. That's fine. I think yes. Mandibles? I don't know. I think it's okay. Right.
Oh, I tell you what you could do. One little detail.
Yes.
So, you see how his claw's coming out of the sleeve there?
Yeah.
Or my claw, sorry.
Yeah.
You could do just where like his chin is.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of his claw arm going down, so it's like it's reaching down into the coat and then out of the sleeve.
Oh, I will try that. I think we need to mildly color it in for that to really work. I will color it in. What color?
Oh, dealer's choice.
I think they're kind of bluish often, aren't they? I do bluish one. Okay, so while I'm coloring this in. Yes, very good. Right, let's think about what to talk about. I had a notion that it might be nice to talk about things that have a hole that goes right through them.
Oh, well, that makes me think of hagstones.
Oh, there you go. That's something.
Have you ever come across a hagstone?
I think I have. Hang on. Just kind of just feel like I need this cut. So, there you go. There we go. Yes, I think
Oh, that's great.
it's these ones that are like it's just a stone with a hole in it, like bonk.
Yeah, it's
Like that.
usually, I think, a flint or something like that, and you find them on beaches.
Yeah. And there's some sort of mythology attached to it that I actually cannot remember, but probably has to do with hags.
Yeah, so they were. I don't know about the wider tradition, but in England, certainly in the sort of 16th, 17th centuries, they were believed to be uh, medicines, essentially. So you'd put them on the afflicted body parts.
Oh.
And we had read about this, me and Ashley, who's my partner, and a few years ago, I got a terrible bout of arthritis in my knee that stopped me from being able to move at all. And I was in terrible pain. And we were waiting to get any medical attention. And we had this hagstone that we'd found on a beach. And Ashley said, well, I mean, generally we go by empiricism and the rational in this house, but considering we haven't got any stronger painkillers and we're just waiting, you want to try the hagstone? And we just burst out laughing while I put this stone on my knee. I was just like grimacing in agony, but I was like, yeah, I think it's working. So, yeah, limited effect perhaps.
Limited.
But that's the myth.
Well, made you laugh. That's already good. I'm still drawing a crab with this. There's a lot of legs involved here. It would be easier to put it like on your finger, wouldn't it? So you just balance it wherever it needs to go, do you?
Yeah, and actually, it wasn't the worst thing in the world because my knee was burning hot at the time, and the stone, being a stone, was quite cool. So, with that and the laughter, I would say it probably made things 0.5% better.
That's quite
You
good.
know,
That's definitely a good thing with a hole through it. How do they? Do you know how they actually happen?
that's a really good question. I don't think there's any. Okay, I'm going to make an educated guess here. So, anyone listening would be unwise to mistake this for a fact. But I think it's when flint forms, it generally forms within a layer of another sedimentary rock, I think chalk, because it's a metamorphic rock, isn't it?
Ah,
And
yeah.
I would expect the holes are where a bit of it doesn't compress as much, or there's a bit of chalk running through it, and that obviously gets eroded much faster.
Mm.
So a stone ends up going through it. I doubt it's a fossil, and I don't know of any creatures that would bore through stone like that. So yeah, I'm assuming it's something left from the formation of the rock.
I mean, literally any creature that kind of really wants to go from here to there might as well go around the outside. No, I mean,
Yeah, it's making a lot of work for itself.
it would be a heck of a lot of work to do. I think it's true. I think that's the notion I have as well. That is basically an inclusion of another substance that's just washed out, and that's what kind of happens in the sea. I mean, there's a lot of really cool rocks, I think, kind of cool shaped ones that look like. I think I saw one that just looked like a mouth of teeth, and it was basically also where something soft got washed out and something hard had formed. So yes, it's very good.
Actually, I watched a lovely video recently, a series of videos, in fact. And this connects us back to where we started. It's a gentleman who's preparing crab fossils. And it's ever so relaxing because he just starts off with a big rough chunk of rock, and he chisels as well. Well, he uses like a little almost like an airbrush thing, and he works away at it until he finds a bit of shell, and then he works away and he works away so gradually.
This is what I'm
And
imagining.
over time, he brings out the structure of the whole crab. And it's wonderful because you just see a boulder become a crab.
Sweet.
He speeds bits of it up.
Yes. I'm just wondering if he's also a crab in this. I think let's just have people be crabs.
Yeah, that's canon now.
Yeah. Look at it. By the end of this, I'm going to have worked out how many legs people should have, and oh my gosh, this is terrible. I'm going to put a table here so you can't see what's going on.
Ah, that old trick.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yes, it is. There you go.
But he's got a lovely voice as well. I think he's from South Africa. So he's got a very, very calming accent. Just slowly reveals a crab.
This is going to have some more bits sticking out here. That's obviously how fossils do emerge from rocks, typically.
Just a leg sticking out.
That's how you know, if you basically find a massive rock and it just looks like a potato, go at it, sandblast.
Have you ever found a fossil?
Where's it? Yeah. Where is it? It's usually here. Oh, hang on. I have. Where? Where's my Yeah, check it.
Ooh,
it's nice, isn't it?
That's lovely. Is that a sea urchin of some kind?
Yeah. I think it's a thunderstone. In kind of mythological terms. I was on the beach. It's quite a scary day, and I was sitting on the beach, and got a difficult phone call and whatever. It doesn't matter what. And I just put my hand out and picked up a random rock. And while I was on the phone, then I opened my hand and I was holding this. It was very weird.
That's wonderful.
Only one I've ever found. Apparently, it keeps your house safe from being struck by lightning if you keep it. Possibly on the windowsill? I'm not sure. It's good one, isn't it? Like it.
It's beautiful.
Anyway,
yeah.
That was my one, literally my one only fossil. Which is, I wish my annoying uncle had seen that. He used to tell me a lot that I should find more fossils because I was closer to the ground. Very mocking, that man. Anyway, but it's not about me. I'm just going to keep colouring in your crab leg here. That's good. Do we want to know more about fossils or more about things that have holes in? Let's see, what have we got here? We've got some medicine. We've got some strata here. I'm just going to put some more things in here, I guess. There we go.
So maybe because it's coming up to dinner time, but my next immediate thought of things with holes in is foods.
Yeah.
But the problem is trying to think around donuts.
I think donuts are fine.
They are pretty good. As toroidal things go, it's hard to get past donuts.
I think the obvious thing is good. Generally.
Although filled donuts, ironically, are much better than ones with holes in, I think.
Oh yeah, they're still donuts then, aren't they? I've never quite understood that.
I suppose funnily enough, actually, the place where I've found most fossils is also the place with the best donuts.
Do you know, maybe it's just like a toroid. Toroid, is that right?
Yeah, toroid hotspot. Yeah,
it must be. I mean, it could be. I mean, it probably isn't.
So this story involves a very old machine. Sounds very science fiction. There's a place in Norfolk, which is so if you were to draw a map of Norfolk, it would be right on the
Norfolk.
Like if Norfolk was a bottom, it would be right on the protruding part of the bottom, basically.
What shape is Norfolk? What shape is Norfolk?
Bit like a bum, actually.
Like this.
It's like England's bum.
Oh, is it the bit that? Is it the bit where it's like here's Cornwall and here's Scotland?
It's on the east. It's on the east.
And
So
yeah, that bit. You know,
yeah.
You know,
So
you've got Devon and like London's like here, so it's like that. This is obviously what Ireland.
actually, if that could be our creature, then Norfolk is kind of the shoulder, I suppose.
This bit. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So this is your toroid.
So it's right on the
Okay, got it.
the furthest out point on the curve, basically, right on the North Sea, and it's a place called Sea Palling. And I used to spend a lot of time there as a kid on holidays. We used to spend the whole summer holiday there, and there was it was a very small town, and there was a shop that was the cafe, the gift shop, the amusement arcade. It was a little shop that was everything, basically. And they had this one machine in there that had been making donuts for years when I was a kid. So this would have been in the late 80s. And it was like a little conveyor belt. And there was a lady who would there was like a nozzle she would use to put blobs of dough on the conveyor belt. And it would just move along really slowly and then dump them in a thing of hot oil. And then that had a little tray that she would pull out. And it was just lovely to watch. And I went back there 2 years ago, and it was the same machine. And I checked. They'd been using the same machine now for, ever since I was born, longer than that. So I think she said sort of 40, 50 years old. And it's just lovely to think every single day it's just making those donuts. And they were really good as well. Yeah. Burnt my fingers so many times on those.
I'm just wondering. See, this is you as a child, obviously.
Oh, because, I'm smaller, yeah.
That's what happens.
That's pretty much the machine.
Yeah, I'm basing it on a pancake machine I fell in love with recently, in a hotel. I just had so many pancakes. You just pushed a button and it made a pancake. It's great. It just wouldn't stop. I got up early.
How did
the same?
So was it like a waffle press kind of thing? Oh, like that.
Well, not quite. It basically had like that bit, and then it had like a toasty oven. So it just went squooch. And then it went through a toasty oven, and then it fell out the other end onto a plate. You just put your plate here, and it just went like that. I think it's just probably like a winning formula for these things. I just realised that you also would probably have a floaty ring to float in. See a holiday.
Oh, I like that one. That looks extremely relaxing.
This is definitely a good kind of, it's just.
And there I am thinking away about all of these things with holes in.
Beautiful. Forgot one. Yeah, we're good. There's still a bit of space.
Well, I suppose we haven't considered tubes, have we?
Tubes.
Yeah.
Tubes. I do like tubes.
Well, what about the classic red and white stripy straw?
Here it is. Would that also be a seaside thing? That would be in the same place.
Yeah, it really feels like it's got that same energy to it.
It does. I just really feel like there's a place in your life, a place and a time in your life where things...
It's just all about tubes.
Tubes, holes, turrets, where things basically just had a hole from one side to the other. I just realised that I've been covering up this.
Oh, the strata's lovely.
Yeah,
I didn't see the.
No, it's been going on.
Oh, tremendous!
There you go. This is all very nice. I think we've nearly filled this. I'll give you a pocket with a straw. This is all very good. Yeah, I've been thinking about unexpected holes, like chives, you know? That's an unexpected tube to me. A chive. Is it a chive?
Yeah, that's so weird. I was just thinking of spring onions.
Mmm.
We eat a lot of spring onions. We're really into cooking Korean food at the moment, and if you cook a lot of Korean food, you eat a lot of spring onions
Yeah, yeah.
because you dress everything with them. Love them, and they form pleasant little tubes. And in fact, my pet hermit crabs, we we have realised are they love spring onions. Um, we put some in because they're omnivores. They will sort of feed on detritus and scavenge almost anything.
Mmm.
And this week it has been apples and spring onions are the things they've fallen in love with.
Oh, that must be so cute. Do they kind of munch them up from one end?
Yeah, they the way any crustacean eats is really interesting because the claws are for holding things in place, and then their mouth parts. Now, I won't expect you to replicate this with me. Is a series of increasingly smaller pairs of very specialized legs. So they hold the food in place and then sort of mince it up.
Wait, so they
with the
don't
smaller
just
legs.
have. So the whole thing with like 8 legs is
They've got 10 legs and 2 are the claws or the chelipeds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then these, no? Like that?
Well, they're in addition to the 10 they have. But I
Oh,
quite like it's like I've got a little moustache.
yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Now this is okay. Good. So this is your outside legs. 10 legs. Why am I so like absolutely misinformed? It's because I'm imagining that they're spiders, right?
Yeah.
Ah, and then this.
It's easy if you ever need to remember. So crabs and lobsters and everything like that are part of a group of crustaceans called decapods, which is just 10 feet.
Oh,
So
of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the claws. Or are they
So
extra?
8 legs and then 2 chelipeds. Yep.
Oh, okay. 1, 2.
There you
Okay.
go. Perfect.
Yes, that makes sense. I've got a feeling that spiders have. I'm so confused right now. I mean, I'm permanently confused. This is not news.
So while we're here, octopuses have 8 arms, but squid have 10.
Yes.
Or in fact, squid have 8 and 2 tentacles. An octopus has no tentacles. It has 8 arms.
Yes, these ones, right? With the leafy bits.
Yeah, that's right. So that's I only learnt that a few years ago that those tentacles are the really long ones with the
Yeah. They're good. I've learned, I've got a weird amount of octopus knowledge, and I have them all. I have it all from primary school children. Because I did a book at some point that's kind of sea themed. And at one school visit I went and I just asked, they always get excited about an octopus in it. And I was like, so, what do you know about octopuses? And then this girl put up her hand and she said, they have blue blood. And then another child put up his hand and was like, they have 3 hearts. And I was like, yes. Because I was like, that's not what I was expecting from the kind of tiny, like I couldn't read yet.
This has just reminded me, actually.
Went on.
There's another thing with a hole through.
Oh yeah.
Which is a cephalopod's brain.
What?
Yeah. So
Why?
a squid brain is toroidal.
So wait. So,
yeah.
As it just what? So that squid brain.
So they're yeah, their esophagus runs through the middle of it, and the brain's around the outside.
Oh, why am I making a noise like that? Makes sense.
So yeah, put a beak at one end. Why not?
Oh, that's the beak here. Beak. See, that was the one thing. Like after these kids were just like they just knew everything, and then I was like, do you know they have a beak? And they were like, no! And I was like, yes, they do. And they can fit through anything that's any hole that's larger than their beak. And they went, Anyway, yes, beak, yeah.
If a squid eats something too big,
Yeah.
It can get brain damage.
Oh, that's horrible. So it would like swallow this, and then so it's like all the tentacles are like. I apologize for the so their brain would be don't they actually have like little brains in their tentacles also? Like, doesn't it just spread?
Kind of, yeah. Like octopus's tentacles have octopus's arms. Sorry. Gosh, it's complicated. It's really complicated and really interesting. But their arms can sort of think for themselves, can't they?
Yes, that's what I been told. That
I don't know if the same is true for squid, but I would imagine so.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how closely related they even are, because there's also these guys, isn't there? These the ones that are like a nautilus.
Nautilus, yeah.
Exactly what nautilus. It's got an eye somewhere. I know it. Yeah.
Have you heard of the paper nautilus?
Paper nautilus. It does sound familiar, but it doesn't do anything right now in my head.
So that's more like an octopus than a true nautilus, but it makes itself a little paper shell to keep its eggs in, which is a bit like a nautilus shell, but it's papery and light and floaty. They're really sweet.
So wait, it's literally. I shouldn't have taken that much space for an E. That was a mistake. So it's like I'm imagining now it's like just this kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Like your usual, and it's got, but it's got like.
I'll see how well I can describe it to you.
Paper.
The shell is sort of crinkly, so like like a lampshade or like one of those lanterns that people light and they float off into the sky and then set fire to huge tracts of forest and are a terrible idea.
So those. Yeah, crinkly thing.
Yeah, and he sort of hides in the shell with his tentacle, with his arms first, sort of poking out of the hole, and then his little head just behind, peering out.
So there's like a hole in there. Yeah, and then.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a nautilus. It's that crinkly texture. But it looks almost like someone's about to pour a jug of octopus, I suppose. So if you make the entrance a bit longer, and have his arms just peering over it. Yeah, there you go. You pretty much got it.
This is Okay, wait. This is for science.
It's also called an argonaut, which I like.
An argonaut? Yes, I like that. I did not know that. I wonder if I've ever seen pictures of it. I've probably seen pictures of it at some point, and it was not what I... bit like that.
Yeah. This reminds me of when medieval travellers would come back from distant parts of the world and describe like a giraffe, someone who hadn't seen one. Yes. And they'd draw it and they'd be like, yeah, that's pretty much a giraffe. You got it.
They probably just ran out of paper. It was just like, probably paper was very pretty. I mean, it was parchment, wasn't it? You like literally had to like skin something and dry it. And then, you wouldn't be like, somebody just been skinning and drying all these things and like, and you describe it.
Yeah, you wouldn't say do it again.
And then you're like, yeah, okay. And then they're buying it in a book, and that's like,
There you go. That's a giraffe now.
and that's why we're so confused. I think we filled the paper, don't you think? This is good.
Yeah, we've defeated it.
There's definitely yes, this is very nice. I like it. So yeah, does this remind you of your childhood?
Yeah, it's like I'm looking back on my own life.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't
It's
have had tea.
amazing what a prompt, how many different things it can bring to mind, and how they all come together as well.
Yeah, so now we know that the butt end of Britain has a toroid hotspot. We don't know that. We don't know that. It is absolute guesswork. But it's something that we can work on. And that is how science starts. Not how it
We've
goes.
got a thesis.
We've got a thesis. That's what I mean. A thesis. Yes. Okay. Good. I'm glad we ended up with a thesis. Thank you. Beautiful. I'm very happy right now. That is a good.
That was delightful.
Thank you. Good. Well, thanks. I shall leave it there.
I think that's perfect. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Farewell.
Yes.